everyone. So I decided today is the day where I'm gonna share with you all what I was doing while I was sick. Because between getting over a cold, catching up on homework, just being my lazy self, and forgetting to upload, this is what I've been working on. One of the many things technically. Because I believe I did write another couple chapters for the DSMP Little Space fic. I do have a Wattpad. I don't remember the username right now, but I will let you all know when I get that far. Yes, this one's a Little Space essential fic. It is also an Eret essential fic. It's called To Enjoy the Little Things in Life. So, this is the first chapter, and I hope you all enjoy. Chapter 1, To Enjoy One's Life. Growing up, Eret found that the one person she needed in life was themselves, and that she could only rely on herself. Her parents were never very attentive to them unless her grades started to slip or they got a bad grade on a test. Then her parents would argue and swear up a storm before taking their anger out on them. Eret would curl up tightly, trying to protect themselves to the best of her ability, while their mother hit them over and over with her belt. By the time she was 11, she had been beaten well over 50 times, and from then on she vowed to never get a bad grade again. As the people surrounding their parents saw her as the perfect angel, pressure was too much. They cracked but held firm, acing grades, rising to the top of her class in mere months. They became valedictorian and the CEO of a leading company, but it wasn't enough. A hole in her chest left them empty. The noise of the company left them in panic attacks and filled with anxiety. This led to her going to the therapist, barely speaking, becoming very sensitive, and developing severe PTSD. I will admit I actually did a lot of research on this because I had a really basic idea of just a really basic idea, and then I just dived into it a bit more to research before I started writing this. So yeah. Before they had gone to college, she had joined the military and pitched into the war effort. They had seen her best friends get blown sky high and heard the sickening snap of bones. They had cried in the safety of the darkness, all on her own, after the war was over, and then again when the nightmares began. Her mind recreated the images of war, filling their dreamscape with them, twisting them into unbelievable monsters. She was all alone in the darkness of their minds. Then one day, she found him. He was a light in their darkness, a beacon of hope amidst the dread that clouded her mind. He was foolish gamers. It was a day like any other. Eret had stopped downtown at their favorite boba place to pick up a matcha milk boba tea, my personal favorite, before heading into work for a few hours of the day. She'd gotten caught up in talking to the owner of the store, who was fluent in sign language as well, as Eret was having a bit of a non-verbal day. When they had turned to leave, she ran into a man. He was tall and muscular. His chest was broad but strong. Needless to say, she spilled her drink all over herself on accident. Then she was back in the war zone, her world transformed from the harmless shop to the trenches they had dug fighting back the DSMP, the main ruling government in the country at the time. She turned their head, raising their gun, shots firing off. She looked to her left. Wilbur slumped against the side of the trench, dark liquid spreading across his abdomen. They looked to her right, Nikki with a head wound. Her breathing was shallow and her eyes fluttered, flickering this way and that, unable to focus as her heart gave up. Eret was stuck, frozen in time. She screamed and cried, clawed at their skin, trying to get back to reality. She was back in the present. They were on the upper floors of the cafe. Eret was sitting on a carpeted floor, her bare legs relaxing against the fabric as their mind raced to catch up with the change in location. She took in a slow, shaky breath, letting it out, trying to calm their pounding heart. "Are you all right?" The man whom she had run into asked calmly. They nodded, unable to speak, instead signing a response, hoping that the burst would translate if the man didn't understand. Yeah, sorry, bad moment there. I served in the military. Sorry, I didn't mean to drag you into all this. No need to apologize. I was going to ask for your number anyways. Are you sure you're all right? The man signed back, a small smile crossing his features once he caught the look on her face. Thank you, and yes, I'm sure my number is... Insert numbers here. Eret answers. Wait, I think you might be my new boss, lol. This is kind of embarrassing. Wilsh answers, a look of realization crossing his face. He takes off his jacket and wraps it around Eret's shoulders. The other is visibly shaking, whether it be from nerves or actual cold, he isn't sure. Wait, you're foolish gamers? Eret answers. The other nods, a small smile gracing his face. Eret feels their face blush and shakily rises to their feet. Can I buy you a drink? Foolish signs. Okay, they head back downstairs, Eret leaning on Foolish as she slowly puts one foot in front of the other. They're thinking maybe it's best if she just goes home today and doesn't stop into work. Foolish orders her a replacement drink from the one they spilled all over herself and helps them into his vehicle. He turns to her. Where are we going? He asks quietly. My house, Eret answers, hands shaking slightly. Foolish nods, handing his phone to the other. Could you enter your address into my GPS? Sure. Eret enters her address, and the GPS reads out directions as Foolish pulls out of the parking lot. It's a few minutes later. Once they get to her home and Foolish helps them out of the car, he rests. I apologize. He rests a hand on her lower back, keeping her steady as he helps them into her apartment. She sinks down onto the couch, falling onto their side and sighing quietly. Would you like me to stay with you? Foolish asks gently. No, Eret answers. Alright, is there anyone you need me to contact so that they know your whereabouts? Dream and Techno, my bodyguards. They're probably still expecting me. Sure, want me to call the company and ask? Okay. Cool, well, goodbye. It was nice meeting you unofficially. Bye. Foolish leaves quietly, the door shutting quietly behind the other as Eret kicks off their Doc Martens and snuggles down further into the couch, only now realizing she still has Foolish's jacket. So reading that last bit, I remembered that this story also kind of came from inspiration. It's a fan fiction series on Archive of Our Own by The Only Human. It's called Strom, and it's about Eret as a mafia boss. Super good series, so worth reading. It has 6 parts to it, and I really want the author to update it because it's so good, and I want to know what happens next. But so basically, it's about Eret, and I won't spoil too much, but they end up going on this trip to Cuba, and it's really bad, and she ends up with trauma. And Eret ends up going to this cafe with Foolish, as her main kind of assistant / bodyguard, whatever you want to call it. And she ends up slipping into Little Space for the first time ever. And he just kind of connects the dots, and it is such a good fanfic. It is so worth reading. It's called Strom by The Only Human. It's on Archive of Our Own. Anyways, so I'll stop. Hopefully I'll find a day to link the fanfic in the video description or something. I hope y'all enjoyed the story, and just, let me know if y'all want to see more like this or not, and maybe I'll share some of my other non-fanfic stuff with you. Bye, y'all.